I believe there's a strong likelihood that the price of Bitcoin will soar by the end of 2025. Beyond being objectively the world's best form of money due to its superior monetary properties, I have 5 key reasons why Bitcoin is likely to enter a major bull market in the medium term. One is global M2 is breaking out. This measure of fiat money hasn't started to increase this aggressively since the end of 2021, when Bitcoin last peaked. Global M2 is a very basic measure of liquidity, and I think it's on the cusp of a pretty big inflection point. However, nominal growth in global M2 is not enough to be stimulative to Bitcoin and risk assets, but M2 growing at a rate faster than the yield you can earn by holding T-bills or a high yield savings account is highly stimulative. It seems likely that rates are going to soon begin dropping fairly aggressively at the exact same time global M2 is set to grow fairly aggressively. Once this occurs, everyone will be trying to escape cash, yielding almost nothing again, and get into high quality assets, and of course, Bitcoin is the fastest horse. 2. Cracks in the global financial system are appearing and being met with immediate easing. The yen carry trade blew up and the Bank of Japan already backed off. In the US, inflation is cooling and unemployment is rising, and the Fed is set to cut in September or sooner. Problems are already being met with monetary and fiscal solutions, and I expect this to continue until it's obvious that Bitcoin and risk assets are in a bull market. 3. The US federal government plans to continue running trillion-dollar deficits no matter which party gets elected this November. The US government runs deficits by issuing T-bills, and T-bills today are the most superior form of dollar cash. You shouldn't hold more than $250,000 in an FDIC-insured bank account for obvious reasons, so the safest way to park billions in cash is with short-term IOUs from the US government. They legally cannot default, and they also have a money printer, so massive government deficits are good for the price of Bitcoin. 4. The 2024 Bitcoin halving, which is now actually almost 4 months in the past. I have a few thoughts on this. 1, there was obviously no immediate effect because very few market participants actually understand Bitcoin, and the halving is a cut in the flow of new coins. A flow of anything, whether that's a river, hose, or Bitcoin block subsidy, requires time by definition. So for the halving to have any effect at all, time must occur. A second thought is how people don't think miners actually affect the price of Bitcoin. This is very fascinating to me because when you look at something like the HODL waves, you'll notice that almost no coins move on a daily or weekly basis. Most coins are held by long-term holders. Yes, there's a lot of volume on exchanges and ETFs, but that's mostly just speculators trading the same few coins back and forth. Additionally, I was at Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville, and the biggest sponsors, booths, and largest companies at the event, well, they were all Bitcoin miners, by far. So people think that just because the subsidy is smaller, that means miners play less of a role in the price of Bitcoin. I really don't think so. I tend to align with Saylor and actually think that halvings today matter just as much, if not more. But of course, changes in the flow of new coins do take time to actually play out. 5. The last and final reason why Bitcoin is likely to soar by the end of 2025 is where Bitcoin is today relative to its historical price. Currently, Bitcoin is still below its previous all-time high set over 3 years ago in 2021. My general thesis is that we're living through hyper-Bitcoinization right now, and that the source of Bitcoin's volatility is from Bitcoin's rapid growth. Well, if that thesis is correct, then the logical move is to buy Bitcoin when it's historically down. This is reasonable too. Bitcoin itself hasn't changed. Evaluating its monetary properties against competing monetary tools shows it's still objectively better. The only thing that it has changed about Bitcoin is its price, which just means it's potentially undervalued in the short term. We're at a pivotal moment where the last few tradable coins are being absorbed by strong hands, positioning for a major bull run. Any downward price movement will shake out weak or over-leveraged holders, while upward moves will attract the next wave of adoption. So today, I think we're witnessing the global monetization of Bitcoin in real time.